Thumbs up.
Okay, welcome everybody to week 3. I can't believe that it is week 3 already. And today we are talking about improving metabolism. Do any of you wish that you could improve your metabolism, to make your metabolism just go a little bit faster? Raise your hand if so. Yes, most people at some time in their life just really wish they could improve your metabolism. And we can improve your metabolism despite what's happened to it in the past. One of the things we dislike about dieting is dieting really slows down metabolism big time. So, we are living the lifestyle. This is not a diet. TLS is all about healthy lifestyle, and we will improve your metabolism. Hormones impact your metabolism no matter your age or your gender. And there are 3 main hormones: leptin, ghrelin, and cortisol, 2 hormone secreting glands that really play a role in weight management. And that's what we're talking about tonight. So the first one, ghrelin, promotes hunger. Leptin should cue us on fullness, and cortisol is the stress hormone. Now let's talk about ghrelin for a minute. I call ghrelin the go hormone because when we're hungry, ghrelin is secreted into the stomach and says, go, you have to eat, you're hungry. It signals to our brain that you need food. And until you satisfy your body's need for nutrients, ghrelin levels are going to remain high and you're going to remain hungry. So what tells our body that we're full? Leptin is the hormone that is supposed to say to our body, you're full, stop eating. But sometimes we don't get that signal. The leptin is actually stored and released in our fat cells, and it should tell our brain that we're satisfied. Research shows us that people who are overweight, people who have poor eating habits, that were yo-yo dieters, people that don't sleep well, people that are under chronic stress have high levels of leptin, and it causes them to become what's called leptin resistant. We're just not getting that signal. We're not getting that feeling of, okay, you're full. So it's high levels of circulating leptin causing someone to not feel full when they should. When we lose weight, we will become more sensitive to leptin and actually stop eating when you're full. Cortisol is the stress hormone. I think all of us in this program that we're doing these 4 weeks, we all live in New Jersey, right? Or tri-state area. Any stress in New Jersey? Just a little? Yeah, I think, right? We don't live in California or Hawaii. We live in a stressful part of the country, and there's stress all around us, and we're living in a stressful time. So cortisol is the stress hormone. It's the hormone released when our bodies are stressed. And we have different kinds of stress. We have emotional stress. Everybody has different types of emotional stress. We have physical stress. So being overweight puts stress, physical stress on the body. Those of you who maybe had some weight to lose and you're losing any difference now that you're losing weight, do you notice any difference in your joints, maybe in your knees when you're walking? A little bit easier to move, maybe easier to sleep, to walk upstairs? Is anybody noticing that? A little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that should keep getting better and better. But physical stress, having chronic inflammation, not sleeping for more than 2 days in a row puts your body in stress. Your body thinks that you're in stress mode. And reduced hydration, believe it or not drinking enough water puts your body in stress mode, also releases that cortisol. How are you guys doing with your water? So we're supposed to drink about half our weight in ounces of water to stay hydrated. There are some people that don't drink any water during the day. So water is something that we're going to keep pushing for all of you. We really need to make sure that you're staying hydrated. Another type of stress we can experience is chemical stress, stress from medication, environmental toxins. All of these things are going to release cortisol. Now, what happens when that cortisol rises? Elevated cortisol levels can lead to visceral fat. Visceral fat is that fat that goes around the belly. And in my office, we have a scale called the InBody that actually measures visceral fat. We want the visceral fat to be under 10. But a lot of people are over 10 because of stress that they had in their life. This is the fat, the abdominal belly fat, that is related to cardiovascular risk. So we want to make sure as we're losing body fat that we are losing that visceral fat, helping to maintain or control, prevent some of that stress. Elevated cortisol levels may also lead to difficulty sleeping. So difficulty sleeping may lead to elevated cortisol and vice versa. High cortisol levels may lead to weakened bones and muscles, suppressed immune system, elevated blood pressure, and even reduced thyroid function. Now, we also have glands that are related to our metabolism, the thyroid gland and the adrenal gland. Both are imperative to metabolism. Any imbalance in the hormones stresses your body and can lead to different metabolic changes. Having reduced thyroid function, or what we call adrenal fatigue, may cause weight gain, sluggish metabolism, dry skin, low energy levels, poor sleep, joint discomfort, and mood fluctuations. Okay, so if this is an issue for you, they may be times that you're eating healthy and exercising, and yet you say, I'm still stuck. I'm in that plateau, or it's not moving as fast as I would like to. It might be because of a little bit of what we call adrenal fatigue. The adrenal glands are two little glands that sit on top of your kidneys. So how do we improve this metabolism? How do we rev up our metabolism and become leptin sensitive? The best way is to increase our body's need for energy and provide nutritional support. So to do this, we're going to look at a triad approach that will repair, maintain, and boost metabolism. So the first is diet. We are eating, see this lovely plate with all these foods. This is a big plate. There are fruits and veggies, lots of fiber that's good for your gut, lots of minerals and vitamins. We want to make sure that we're preventing our blood sugar from crashing. Now, the whole idea of this program, we talked last week about low glycemic impact eating. So what that means in summary is the glycemic index number is a number that's given to a carbohydrate of how rapidly it raises your blood sugar. So to give you an idea, the glycemic index number of a lollipop is 100. The glycemic index number of a piece of white bread or a bagel or a muffin is 100. So it's no different. When we're eating those white flours, that is spiking your blood sugar right up and your body stays in fat storage mode. The body doesn't know the difference. What kind of carbs or what food product do you think would make a difference in the glycemic index? What would slow down the rise of that blood sugar. We're looking for foods that are high in what?
Fiber.
Yes. We're looking at foods that are high in fiber. When we eat carbs that are high in fiber, the blood sugar rises just a little bit, and we're then able to burn that energy. All right. So no, we don't want to skip meals. Skipping meals is dieting. There's no dieting. All dieting does is slow down your metabolism and also promotes the loss of muscle. We don't want to lose our muscle. We work so hard to keep it. TLS is not about calorie restriction. We need to fuel the fire. We want to consume lean, protein-rich foods. We want to replace those high glycemic index foods with lean, protein-rich foods. Our body burns twice as many calories digesting proteins as it does carbohydrates or fats. Good sources of protein, some of the animal proteins, organic, turkey, wild fish, organic chicken, lean grass-fed beef, pasture-raised eggs, and the plant proteins. Tofu must be organic, but tofu, tempeh, lentils, the legumes, these are all great sources of protein as well. Spice up your foods. Spicy foods have natural chemicals that can kick our metabolism into higher gear. So cooking foods with a tablespoon of chopped red or green chili pepper can boost our metabolic rate. The effect is temporary, but if you eat spicy foods often, the benefits do add up. And for a quick boost, you can always add a little pinch of red pepper flakes to your dishes. So let me ask you something. One of my favorite parts of the detox is retraining our taste buds, getting those taste buds back. Have any of you experienced new or enhanced taste? Are you enjoying the foods maybe now with less sodium and more natural taste in the form of herbs and spices? Anyone want to share anything about that? No. So if you haven't yet, this week could be the week. Start adding different fresh herbs and spices. If you're in the market and you see fresh sprigs of thyme or fresh oregano, it completely changes, I think, fish. I do eat a lot of wild fish, and I love adding the fresh herbs to it. It just completely changes the taste. It is absolutely delicious. I also love adding hot red pepper flakes on a lot of foods as well. We want to eat more frequently. So when we eat large meals with many hours in between, our metabolism slows down. Meaning, if you only eat one meal a day, your metabolism will slow down. I am a big fan of time-restricted eating. I like that term better than intermittent fasting because your time-restricted eating is really dependent on your body clock. Some people eat early and go to bed at 9 o'clock, and some people might eat a little bit later dinner and go to bed a little bit later. But you want to give your body a little fasting time. I would say anywhere from 12 to 14, 12 to 15 hours is ideal. All right. So that means if you finish dinner at 6 p.m., that's it. You can have a nice cup of herbal tea, but you really don't want to eat anything else until anywhere from 6 to 9 a.m. in the morning. Because when we're giving our body that time restricted, when we're doing time restricted eating, we're giving our body healing time. It's able to perform something called autophagy, the cleaning up of damaged cells. Very, very good for us. We don't want to be continuously snacking around the clock. During the day, though, when you are eating, you do want to eat every 3 to 4 hours. It's going to keep our metabolism cranking, so we burn more calories over the course of a day. We don't really want to go more than 4 hours while we're awake without eating. and the hydration. I recommend to people to drink a glass of water before they eat a meal. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do after I brush my teeth is drink a big 10-ounce glass of water every day. First thing I do. We get dehydrated while we're sleeping. So it's important to rehydrate first thing in the morning, and then drinking a glass of water before your meal is not only going to help you stay hydrated, and you can drink more, of course, while you're eating, but it's also going to fill you up a little bit. You can get hydrated also from the fresh fruits and the vegetables. Some studies suggest that sipping cold water throughout the day can increase our metabolism by up to 30%. And lastly, exercise. The best way to burn additional fat is through exercise, both during and after the workout. Even walking after meals will improve our metabolic rate. Exercise can help to boost muscle. So for those of you over 50, like myself, when we are over 50, our bodies start losing 0.5 pound of muscle a year naturally. So we have to work that much harder to not only replace the muscle and keep building lean muscle mass. Muscle is calorie burning machinery. So let's talk a little bit about the science-based supplements that TLS Weight Management Solution offers. Each of these supplements addresses a unique and important part of maintaining a healthy weight. So these are nothing, they're not diet pills, they're not thermogenic. These are all designed scientifically to help our body do what it should do naturally. If you have not taken the Find Your Fit profile on the tlsslim.com, I do encourage all of you to do that, because it's going to help pinpoint what supplements may be best for you. And I'm going to be explaining them in detail as well. So the first one we're going to talk about is one of my favorites. This is called TLS ACTS, the Adrenal Cortisol Thyroid Stress Support Formula. If anybody experiences stress, this is unbelievable. The body's adrenal glands naturally release hormones when we're faced with stress. The hormone cortisol has been shown to increase blood sugar, suppress the immune system, and hinder proper metabolism. And if your stress levels don't subside, the body can then produce excess glucose, and then will often lead to binge eating and the body storing fat. We also need that thyroid support. If cortisol levels are high, the thyroid then can be negatively impacted. And this can lead to us feeling tired, lethargic, which may affect your interest in activity and exercise. So the ACTS has a blend of ingredients to maintain normal adrenal function, normal thyroid function. It also is giving us stress support, because we know stress in any form can affect our best efforts to lose weight. Raise your hand if you crave green beans or broccoli when you're stressed. Anybody? No, I've never seen anybody crave vegetables when they're stuck. When they're stressed, what do we crave? Something that's sweet. Because when we're in that, the body thinks that we're in that flight or flee syndrome, and it's going to crave something sweet, which will raise our blood sugar, because the body thinks that you have to fight. So the blend of beautiful herbs and botanicals really help support all of that. They help keep you calm. There's different herbs and botanicals in here, things like holy basil, rhodiola, ashwagandha, helps the body adapt to the stress and has adaptogenic properties that help bring you back into balance. It's really, really amazing. The next product, CLA. This is for anybody who maybe wants to target belly fat, maybe wants to promote lean muscle mass. The conjugated linoleic acid is recommended for those looking to reduce overall body fat, including that stubborn belly fat. The CLA really targets fat in your belly, hips, and thighs. It helps promote breakdown of fat called lipolysis. It helps preserve your lean muscle and metabolizes carbohydrates and fats. The TLS Thermochrome, this is the only product that does have a little bit of caffeine. It is a gentle caffeine. One pill of the Thermochrome has about 100 milligrams of caffeine, which is about half a cup of coffee. But it doesn't give you that jittery feeling that coffee gives you. It does help burn stored fat, does give you energy, clarity, mental focus. It also is very good at curbing the appetite. The TLS product Core. This is the one that came in your kits. Is everybody using their Core? Okay, good. Keep using your Core. The Core, all of these actually are, every product that we work with has been trialed in a research study. So the Core, the research study was on 8 weeks, and the findings were significant. We can certainly share the results with you. We'll put that on the Facebook page of the results from people taking the Core for 8 weeks. One of the lovely things that it does, and this Core is really designed for people who crave carbohydrates. The higher our body fat is, the more leptin resistant we are, causing us to overeat. So we want to become leptin sensitive, and the Core is very good at helping to promote our bodies become more leptin sensitive. There's a trademark ingredient called Lepticor that takes care of that. The product also has chromium, and this helps maintain normal blood sugar levels. It also inhibits unnecessary carbohydrate absorption. This is from that white kidney bean extract. So the results of Core, the Core is also very good for cardiovascular. The research did show it brings down cholesterol levels about 25 to 30%. The green coffee bean, my other personal favorite. I just started taking this last week. The green coffee bean promotes fat burning. So what this does, if anybody want to accelerate fat burning here? If you do, this would be your go-to. By using stored fat as a source of energy, the fat burning is accelerated. And the research ingredient in here is called svetol, which is a green coffee extract, but it's no caffeine. So you can take this at night, it won't keep you up. Superior to its competition because of that trademark ingredient, svetol. This also supports cognitive health. So I've seen quite a number of people over the past couple of years that are, think maybe they should be on the keto diet for cognitive benefits. I'm not a fan of the keto diet. When I was doing a lot of DNA analysis testing, it will show us what kind of genes people have. And I only saw one person with that fat burning gene. Most people have what's called the farmer gene, meaning your bodies are going to do better eating a big variety of just the way you're eating plants, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, healthy fats, lean proteins. Most people thrive on that. But what's nice about this product, the green coffee bean, it does give us the cognitive benefits and that fat burning mode. And you can, all of these are designed biochemically to be taken together. So you're not just restricted to one of the products. If I'm mentioning something that resonates with you and you feel it would be helpful, you absolutely can mix them. Trim tea and trim cafe. These, very, very interesting. The trim tea is black tea and African mango seed. The trim cafe is Colombian coffee and African mango seed. Little bit of caffeine. The trim tea has about 20 milligrams. The trim cafe has about 66, still less than a traditional cup of coffee, but a little bit of caffeine. Very interesting research with the African mango seed. What they found was African mango seed has the ability to stop fat cells from multiplying, because fat cells multiply. So 2 become 4 and 4 become 8 and they multiply. The African mango seed has the ability to stop that. It also raises a hormone called adiponectin. Adiponectin is another hormone stored in our body's fat that has to do with weight loss. And when people have low levels of adiponectin, they lose weight more slowly. The trim tea and trim cafe increase adiponectin levels by about 150%. Now, the research for these was done on 10 weeks. So if you're going to try the trim tea, trim cafe, do take it for the 10 weeks, but the results were pretty incredible. I love mixing the trim cafe. My favorite way to take it is with the TLS protein and some unsweetened almond milk, the 2 scoops of vanilla TLS protein, 1 packet of trim cafe, poured over a glass of ice. And it is absolutely delicious. Delicious. It tastes like a beautiful mocha drink. So highly recommend it if you like the shakes and you're looking to try this. And of course, our TLS nutrition shake. Has anybody seen the shake and bake recipes with the TLS shake? Have you found those recipes?
Mhm.
Anyone? No?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So if you haven't found them, they are at the tlsslim.com. If you go to resources and recipes, it's the second recipe down. It says shaking and baking with TLS. You're going to find all kinds of shakes that you can use your protein powder with. You're going to find Dr. Nancy's muffins. Now, Monday is one of my very favorite holidays. It is Valentine's Day. I've always loved Valentine's Day my whole life. And I love making something with chocolate. So I am going to be making chocolate lava cake muffins with the TLS protein powder. And what you do, you follow Dr. Nancy's chocolate TLS muffin recipe, but add a tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa powder. And then in the top, I put in a couple dark chocolate, stevia sweetened chocolate chips. There's a brand called Lily's, Lily, Lily's, and they make a chocolate chip or a chocolate that's sweetened with stevia. Or you could just use any unsweetened dark chocolate. Put a couple of those at the top of the muffin. And when they're baking, it sinks in and it's like a little molten cake. So you could even put a strawberry on top. There's all kinds of chocolate recipes. If you follow the TLS Weight Loss Solution on Facebook, their blog posts this week are also a couple of healthy chocolate recipes for Valentine's Day. So I would love for all of you to take a look at that as well. Any questions that anybody has? This is the quietest group that we've had so far.
I'll ask a question. I'm finding this a little overwhelming in terms of the number of products here. Every single one of them sounds great, but you said you can mix them. Like, it's a little overwhelming to think about which would be right for you. Does that make
Yeah,
sense? Because there's so many of them.
so Kim, what I would suggest, Kim, is go to the tlsslim.com
Okay,
and you're going to take a little quiz called Find Your Fit.
okay.
Okay, and that's going to help
That'll
pinpoint.
guide you along. Okay,
Yeah.
you had said that earlier. Okay, I gotcha. Okay.
And
Okay.
then ask, are you working with Georgia?
Yes.
Okay, and then Georgia can also review with you what
Okay.
supplement may be best for your body.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Kim, we can get on a call and talk about it too.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Yeah. So I guess I have one other question. I'll ask questions.
Yeah.
I know week 1 we weren't really supposed to exercise, but I did a smidgen. And I just found myself much weaker than I was in the past. Like when I got on the spin bike, when I got on the Peloton, I could not do anywhere near what I could do beforehand.
Yeah, that's why we say during detox.
Don't do it.
For that reason. Yeah, you're just not getting, we're just eating plants. You're not getting enough fuel to give you the.
Does that come back right away? Like, because if I jump on tomorrow, am I going to be back to normal? Because I don't know if I am.
Well, are you following the fat shredder program now?
You're on phase 2?
Yeah, I'm on phase 2. Yeah.
Okay, when did you start phase
Starting
2? Monday?
Tuesday.
Your strength should be back by now. Yeah,
Okay.
by now it should be back. And if not by tomorrow, definitely by Saturday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
A sample day on the phase 2, Kim, might be, you might have a veggie omelet with all kinds of beautiful vegetables and an egg with spinach and kale and mushrooms and peppers and tomato. And then for a snack, have one of the TLS protein shakes. And then your lunch with the protein, maybe salmon or sardines and a big salad filled with vegetables. So you should be, maybe an apple. So definitely you're getting enough food.
Okay.
For the exercise. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have any questions?
I think I have a question, Susan. Do
Wait,
you hear
who's
me? It's Grace.
Oh, hi, Grace.
Hi. So the dark chocolate unsweetened Lily's chocolate chips, are you just kind of like throwing us a bone because it's Valentine's Day and
Yes.
we should avoid that otherwise?
Yeah, I wouldn't have chocolate yet. For Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day is tempting, right? So if you're with people that
Yeah.
are getting boxes of chocolate and you want something, Trader Joe's has pure dark chocolate chips that I really like a lot. And when you're making the muffins, you can make the muffins certainly without the dark chocolate chips. You don't need that. Dr. Nancy's TLS friendly muffin you could be making now, have that for a snack with a cup of herbal tea. Something like that is delicious. So you guys can definitely be using that as part of your plan. I wouldn't eat chocolate candy yet, right? So when we go back,
Sure.
the idea of this program is to reset the body. We're restoring the balance of the body, boosting your metabolism, resetting our hormones. When we have reached our goal, then, and it might be in this 4 weeks, it might not. Actually, Georgia and I were talking about continuing for another 4 weeks because there's still a lot of topics that we want to share with you guys. Proper sleep and how that impacts stress, and maybe doing a virtual food market tour or a cooking class. So let us know if that's something that you would be interested in. But the idea, one of the wonderful things about detox is that it does get rid of our sweet cravings. So we don't want to just jump back in and give ourselves those cravings again. It takes a couple weeks to really get rid of them. So look for one of those recipes using the TLS shake or the TLS muffins or something from the TLS blog on the Facebook page. And I think you'll find something there that will be perfect for Valentine's Day.
Thank you. I have to hop off now, but everyone have a
Okay.
good night.
You too,
Good
Sunny.
night.
I have a question. This is Joanne.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi. I'm doing fine. This is probably my third or fourth time on this. So I'm doing well. I'm doing lots of vegetables, but I'm just wondering, you know, the old saying about eat the size of your fist because that's the size of your stomach. Like when I look at some of the meals I have with so many vegetables, when I try to get 3 or 4 cups of vegetables, it's so much quantity on the plate. Isn't that stretching out my stomach? Then I'm not trying to do that.
The idea is not to eat so you're uncomfortable. We do want to pay attention to our body. Our body really does a good job at telling us, should tell us when we're full. So if you're finding that 3 cups of vegetables is just making you really, really full, then that's fine. The important thing, Joanne, is that you're eating vegetables. Right? So that's the important, because vegetables are giving us fiber in the form of something called prebiotics. So the gut, our gut is probably one of, not the most important organ, but one of the most important body systems is the gut. We want to make sure our gut is healthy. Everything starts in the gut. Our immunity starts in the gut. Almost all illness starts in the gut. Our mood depends on the flora of the gut. Our mood, the neurotransmitter serotonin, which is that feel-good neurotransmitter, 92% of serotonin is made in your gut. So think of your gut as a garden, and it has bugs. And we need to weed and feed those bugs. Okay, so we need to replenish with what's called probiotics, either taking a probiotic or eating foods that are fermented. But we need to feed those probiotics, and we feed them with prebiotics. Prebiotics are the fiber. So those vegetables that you're eating, those are prebiotics. They are helping to nourish your gut. So they're very important. So I love that you're getting the wide variety of those plants. But if the portion sizes are too much, cut back. You want to be comfortable.
Thank you. That works.
You're welcome.